Hey, it's Chris with Never Enough Outdoors, and today I'm going to talk about my police scanner. They pick up audio from frequencies from different radio stations to CB radio and different handheld radios and police radios and fire department radios. But I usually listen to fire and police, but sometimes some other things, some other community radios of different sorts. And I wanted to talk about my vehicle setup. This is my company truck behind me here, and I've never driven it with a scanner connected. I used to have a car, and everywhere I went with it, I listened to the scanner over the radio. I didn't listen to the radio much, I listened to my scanner. And I'm gonna be setting it up in this truck. This is a new truck to me. It's not new, it's a 2014 F-150, but it's new to me, and I'm gonna be traveling in it from now on at work, and I wanted to show you how I had it set up and how I'll be using it in the vehicle. So stay tuned and I'll show you how I do it. I have an antenna mounted here on the roof. It's just a magnetic antenna, and it runs down into the interior of the vehicle. I've got it ran through the door jamb here, down through the bottom, excuse the mess, and it goes into my radio. This is the Uniden BCD436HP. It does digital. This one is very easy if you're looking for one. They make a little newer one, but it's a Uniden and it's a little nicer. I've heard reasons why this one's better, and I've heard reasons why that one's better for picking up different things, but I use this. I listen to police, fire, sometimes some government agencies, sometimes animal control. Sometimes I listen to CB radio when I'm driving. I come up on an accident, I'll switch over to CB radio. They don't use it as much anymore, the truckers, but some do, and they'll talk. They'll tell you what's going on or what lane you need to be in, but I like this one. It's been very nice for me. To use it in the car, I've tried a million different mounts, and I've finally landed on this. This is a little magnetic adapter that goes in your air vent. It's the best thing I've found for the way I use it, but I've used the little clamps that hold your phone. I've used the things that hold the phone on the windshield, but nothing for me has worked as good as this. Now I've got a adhesive, and I didn't use the adhesive that came with this, but this piece came with the magnet that goes in your vent, and it comes with little metal pieces that you put on the back of your phone or whatever you want to connect it to, but I'm using the scanner. But I went and bought some double-sided tape that's a little fancier, and that's what I've got stuck on here to hold that piece of metal on. You can also use the little clip that you put on your belt buckle. I've tried that, it didn't work for me. This is what works for me, and this literally, it's above my battery door, so it's not in the way, and I just clip it on. And when I set it up correctly when I'm driving, I think in this truck, I didn't have this issue in my car. It was a lot closer to me in my car. I had a Ford C-Max, but I wanted a truck. So I've got this truck, and I'm going to be traveling in 2 weeks on a week-long trip, and I'm excited to use this while I'm traveling. But literally, I put this piece in here, and I might have to get something to keep it held over that way. It's not a big deal, but I want it to be as far that way as I can so that it's facing me. I may end up moving it to another one, I don't know, but for now this is what I've got. And I just hooked the thing up to it, and it holds pretty good. That magnet's strong. It kind of wobbles some, but it works fine. All right, as far as now another issue with this truck is the Bluetooth does not work, and my company's probably not going to fix it because it's not a necessity. So I've went out and I've tried everything I could to get the Bluetooth to work. I went out and bought this FM transmitter that works on Bluetooth, so my phone will connect to this, and I plug it into power, and it will pick up my phone, and I can play the sound through a radio station, and it works great. This adapter happens to have a audio plug, which works great because this audio plug in the radio does not work either. Neither does the USB plug to play music over. But it works for sending out power. So I'm using this USB to power my scanner. But anyways, I've got this FM transmitter, and it's got a plug for my audio. The audio on this unit is horrible, and anybody that has one will agree with me. It's not very loud. You turn it up full blast and it's not loud enough. But I can turn up the sound on my radio, and I can plug this into my radio and use it. But on my radio, that doesn't work. I can't do that. So I've got it going into this transmitter, and I'll have it playing through the radio. I use station 88.1. So in the top of this scanner, I've got a audio headphone plug that I plug that into. The other side's would go into my radio, but it's going into my FM transmitter. All right, I've got this cigarette lighter, goes to this 3-way cigarette lighter. It's got a plug for a GPS unit. I always keep a GPS unit on my windshield. I don't need it, but I use it. I use my phone normally for directions. I use the Waze app. But I've also got a plug that runs to a GPS unit that runs my scanner. And this scanner, as you drive around, my GPS unit, which is this thing right here sitting in my dash, and you can get these from Uniden, Amazon, wherever, but this GPS unit sits in my windshield there, and as I drive around, this thing, it knows the area I'm in, and it changes to pick up local, police, fire, whatever I've got it set up for. It swaps to pick up things in the area I'm in. So right here, I'm in Snellville, Georgia. It'll pick up things that are local to Snellville, and I set it up with a 0-mile range. I could set it farther and it'd pick up stuff farther away, but I stick to 0, and I can pick up things that are going on around probably 20 miles from where I'm at. Maybe a little farther depending on how strong the connection is, but it picks up things that I would normally pick up in this area. And as I drive, let's say I go to Atlanta, it might drop the stuff from Snellville, but it'll pick up stuff that can be heard around the Atlanta area. And if I go to Macon, it'll drop the Atlanta stuff. As soon as I move out of whatever range Atlanta picks up in, it'll pick up Macon stuff, or stuff along the way, McDonough, Macon, and then on to down to South Georgia, wherever I'm headed to. But that GPS unit is pretty cool. I tried doing this in the beginning without the GPS unit, and it was a nightmare. But the GPS unit plugs into a plug that goes to this adapter, and one side of it plugs into this cigarette lighter to charge, or to keep, give me power to the GPS unit. And the other plug, if I can find it down here, I've got a mess. I should have cleaned this up before I did this. Here's the plug for GPS. Now, this plug I'm not a fan of. It does not tell which side is which, and you kind of have to play and plug it in the wrong way to get it in. But I think I've taught myself over the years how to plug it in. I'm going to go ahead and turn on this unit. And I normally keep my unit with the backlight on at all times. I've got it set up to keep it on. This unit, you can set it up it's pre-programmed with everything in it, or you can use that, or you can use your own stuff you've programmed. And I've programmed my own stuff locally. I usually use the preloaded stuff when I'm driving around, because I don't have all that saved in here. But if I plug my GPS unit in, see the GPS little wording came up, so I know my GPS is working. So right now I do have some stuff that I've loaded on here that's running, but I also have things that I've preloaded that I don't have turned on. They're always on, and they're always being picked up when they're in GPS range. So I've got some things on here that are turned on, but they're not picking up because they only pick up, say, at my house. They're not going to pick up here because my GPS is telling me I'm at work, and they're not going to pick up at work. So that's a cool feature of the GPS unit. So it plugs in here on the top of my scanner, and I have to watch it. It'll fall out. It's a piece of junk. There's a guy that I think makes the GPS internal, but I haven't done that. I'm thinking I'm going to get a new scanner before I would want to go that route. Maybe the new scanner will have it built in, but that's how the GPS connects. It's connected to power, and it's connected to my unit here, and then the other end sits in my windshield. You could stick it outside, but I'd prefer just to leave it inside. It never moves. It's not that heavy. It's not magnetic. It just never moves. It just sits there. It never moved in my car, and I don't expect it to ever move in this truck. Like I said, I've got this USB doesn't work, for radio, but it works for power. And so I'm using that to power my unit. This unit, you cannot charge it while it's running, while it's scanning, but you can run off external power. So I'm using my vehicle to run this unit while it's in use. Now, right now, I don't know that it charges or it runs it when the vehicle's not turned on. I'm gonna turn the key forward. All right, see, now it's asking me if I want to charge it or connect it to computer or something. So I know now it's got power to that unit. So now my unit is running off of external power. It's not charging it, it's just running off external power. All right, so I've covered my GPS and my power and my audio. I usually keep my audio on about 12. It goes up to 15. I keep it on about 12. I keep this Bluetooth thing turned all the way up, and then my radio is set for 88.1. I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit, and then I control my audio with my radio. All right, the other thing I discussed on the roof is there's an antenna, and I've got the cord ran around and inside my vehicle, and there's a lot of excess. I think the cord's like 16 feet long for this, and I've heard you're supposed to turn it off at all times to connect your antenna. So I'm gonna connect my antenna. I'm gonna turn it back on. It's gonna reload everything. And now if it picks something up, we're gonna hear it on the radio. Now I'm not able to pick up a lot where I work. It's just everything around me is encrypted. And I've got some things turned on here that I might can hear. I've got DeKalb County Police and Fire turned on. I've got Stone Mountain Park Police turned on. Now I've got the Stone Mountain Park. Whoops, that was some buses. I like to listen to the buses, the county buses. But now I've got Stone Mountain Park, the actual park operations turned on. I hear them a lot all day in my office from here, so I'll probably be able to pick that up pretty easily. And there's obviously not a lot going on. My power keeps dropping. I don't know what it is. I just realized that. But either way, I've got an adapter here that I could plug my USB into to charge my unit if I need to, if it loses signal. So I'm gonna wait until I can hear some audio. Where I live and where I work, everything's encrypted, so it's not the best place to show audio footage. I used to be analog, and then it turned digital, and that's why I bought this digital scanner. And then everything went encrypted. The county here, Gwinnett County, is encrypted. Gwinnett County school buses, they're in action all day, so they usually talk a good bit, and it's one of the few things around here that's not encrypted. I don't really care about the buses when I'm sitting at home or at work, but sometimes when I'm on the road, they're exciting to listen to. But this is my setup, and I'm gonna turn off that, see if something else comes up. Like I said, everything is encrypted here. or it's just too far away, and I've only got certain things turned on here. I can't believe nothing's come up yet since I've been sitting here this long. But that's how little you can listen to around here. And again, I've only got certain things turned on, so it doesn't pick up very far. I've got, like I said, I've got my range set to 0.
It's been narrowed to one lane. They're going to be down all afternoon. It's going to be a nightmare in about an hour.
Gwinnett County School Bus.
Copy.
See, that was, if I'd have heard all of
Which
that,
direction is that traveling?
they're talking about a traffic issue.
Going from 316 toward 85, one lane.
See, good to know. If I was on 316.
Well, I'll make that announcement later. Thank you.
Gwinnett County School Buses, they talk all day. I have Walton County as well. I live in Walton County. I work in Gwinnett County. Walton's not as active, and I don't know if I can pick them up well from here, but I'm pretty sure I can. I have the power companies set up. I have a few utility companies. I've got animal control in different areas, fire, police, where I can pick it up at. Like, again, around where I live, you can't pick up any police. The only police I can pick up, if you're from the area, is Jackson County. I can pick up them, police and fire. I can pick up Oconee County, Madison, Morgan County, but my county, Walton's encrypted, Gwinnett's encrypted. I can pick up Walton Animal Control, so that's nice, but, well, that was a GMRS. Oh, I missed it. GMRS is what a lot of truckers use nowadays. The GMRS is in a lot of vehicles. A lot of people have them at their house and in their vehicles. I can pick up ham radio, but I just don't listen to it much. All right, so that's my scanner set up. Again, I've got this magnetic piece, or this, that connects to my metal on the back of my scanner. I just attach it here. It's not hard to do. And then I've got my GPS unit plugged in here. Like I said, the connection's horrible. It's crappy. It's the worst thing they've done on this. But I've got my power connection that I've got plugged into a USB plug. I've got my antenna that's mounted on the roof and just comes in the truck. And I've got my audio cable, which would normally plug into my radio, but that doesn't work. So I'm using a FM transmitter that also works Bluetooth, so I can play my music if I wanted to, or answer phone calls through my radio. But that's my setup in my work vehicle, and please leave a comment if you've got a question about it. If you do something similar, show me what you do. I've seen, this is nothing fancy. This is junk compared to a lot of setups. A lot of people they build, almost like where you would replace your radio. They build things like that with different types of mobile scanners or all kinds of setups. This is nothing fancy, but this is my mobile unit, and I like my mobile unit because I can take it wherever I want. I can take it in this truck. I can take it in my personal truck. I can take it in the office. I do everything with this one unit until I buy another one. So that's my setup. Again, please let me know if you don't like it, or if you like it, or if you have a question about my setup or where I got something. I'd be glad to share it with you. But this is the way I've got it set up today, and I look forward to using it as I travel down the road. Please subscribe to my channel. Check out my other videos. Most of them are fishing related, but I'm a man of all sorts, and I like to do all kinds of things. So this is just something I thought some people would enjoy seeing, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for joining.